Hello everybody, welcome to the next session coming up. Grab a seat, grab some headphones, have a sit down, you're going to want to hear this session. Are we all ready? I'll just wait another couple of minutes while you just put your headsets on. We got Cameron, we got some more there. Are we all ready? Are you ready, Lou? Can you hear me? Loud and clear, just for you. Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We're going to get started and kick off this session. And I'm delighted to have with me Hannah Mirza, founder of the Responsible Marketing Agency. So happy to be here. Are you dry?
I am, thankfully, yes. I've managed to skip the rain.
It's not quite the summer vibe, but we're going to make it good. We're going to make it buzzy and entertaining. So I've got to ask, because Hannah has just recently founded her own company, so it felt very natural to start with, why did you leap and lead, and how's it been in setting it up? Tell us more.
Thanks, Julia. It was a happy accident, I have to say. I never thought that I would start my own agency. I was contracting. I was looking for a job in probably peak Brexit uncertainty in the UK, and there wasn't a lot of work at the time. And I ended up going into contracting. And so during my contracting period, I was deciding, well, I've now had to set up a limited company. I won't take as much salary, and I just started building up like a small bit of money, and then got to the point where I was able to then go, actually, why don't I launch this as an agency and start bringing people in, and have been lucky enough to go by that. But it was never a plan. It was very much a circumstantial. Yeah.
I think as well, one of the interesting things is that it gives the word responsible in the name of your company is a word that's being bandied around a lot. People are jumping on the bandwagon to a degree about being sustainable, being good. Tell us a bit more about what responsible means within your company.
Yeah, it means three things, but I'll start by, before I get into the three, what I would say it means is that you've got a target. Because the companies that I see are genuinely doing responsible marketing are the ones who set a goal and put a stake in the sand and said, I'm going to do this by this date. And then they have to work out how they're going to get there. And the way they're getting there is across the three things, which is ESG, of course, but from a G perspective in marketing, it's about brand safety. It's about, the context in which you're operating. It's the use of data, how you're thinking about data, and also all the governance around privacy. And then from a sustainability point of view, we're thinking about media decarbonization, but also the circular economy and how we're changing the way in which we go to market with products. And then from a kind of social perspective, it's about, are we inclusive? Are we including all of society in the work we're doing? Are we marketing in a way that is reaching all pockets of society and in effect having true reach?
I think it's really good. I think it's so powerful that there's more momentum behind this. And I think for everybody in the industry, hopefully you're all seeing a move towards being more responsible in all of these areas. There's a lot of brands at MadFest, so who's doing it well? Who can you call out and go, they've got their finger completely on this, they're making good moves?
Yeah, I mean, some of the brands that I've been impressed with are Mars, Diageo, of course. I'm seeing good movement from companies like Reckitt's. A lot of people who are putting into practice some of the commitments they've made. I think marketing in the commitments that people have made around the UN sustainability goals is often forgotten, and it's getting closer to 2030, and they're having to go, oh, actually the marketing team also need to be part of the company change, and so we're seeing a bit more momentum coming there as well.
So I've got a question for you, and I just thought of this. It's like, why wouldn't you be responsible? Do you ever hear, well, I can't do that because of the bottom line, because it's not going to perform, because right now I'm under the cosh, because what are you hearing as to why they aren't going to be responsible?
I've spoken to a few big brands who they want to do it all, but they have bandwidth issues. So they're doing great on environmental and less so on inclusion, diversity, or vice versa. Or they've spent so much time and money on the governance part, they haven't quite got to the other pieces yet. And I think that's the challenge of it being an add-on as opposed to the fundamental way in which you do market. And that is the big change that needs to happen of, like, all your marketing needs to be responsible. It's not a special project. It's not something that you do when you have the funding to do it. It needs to be a re-engineering of the way you do marketing from the ground up.
Perfect. I'm going to ask you all, Raise your hand if you think we are making a move in the right direction and you are seeing more responsible marketing. Okay, so we're getting there. So it's proving that it's working. And I'm so proud that you as a female leader has taken the step and leapt in. I know you said you fell into it, but are there one, two, three things that you would say you need to do this before you become a leader, before you become a founder? Any advice?
Yeah, so definitely think about financing. I think I'm learning a lot about cash flow and things that I never thought that I would need to understand. But what I'm getting really good at is recognizing the things I don't know and finding the expert that can help me really quickly. And I've done that a couple of times now on HR, on bookkeeping, on a few other things. And other people have said to me, oh, it's so good that you've done that. A lot of people wouldn't recognize their weakness and go and find those skills. And I was like, no, I definitely don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to find the skills. So I feel like quite humbled by the pathway I'm on. And I think that hopefully if you go into business, that's something that you can learn from. Like, really play to your strengths, and I'm a great marketer and less of a great HR expert, so I need to balance those skills.
So it's interesting you mentioned that, because I always believe in surrounding myself with a very strong team. I'm lucky at Digital Voice. I have amazing team. Your team's also grown incredibly fast. You've got some big names coming into Responsible Marketing Agency. Who did you get?
Yeah, so we technically started less than a year ago, but we've grown from myself to just close to 12 of us now in the space of short 12 months. So adding a person a month's been quite great. Really excited that Liam Brennan's joined as our managing director.
Liam Brennan as well.
Liam Brennan. Alice Brady has joined as our Chief Strategy Officer, and also Claire Latham is leading programming as well across some of our big clients.
Seriously, it's big heavyweight, big names as well. I've got to ask as well, just as to shout out to any female leaders that have also inspired you, because you've surrounded yourself always, and I've known you for a while, with strong women within Bloom and within your own company. But any female leaders you want to call out?
Yeah, I was really lucky. I worked in Group M for 10 years, and Lindsay Patterson was a mentor to me. And one of the reasons that I didn't really want to work for a corporate anymore is I was absolutely sick of having a one-to-one or a performance review and being told, like, these are the areas I don't like about the way you do things. And of course, everyone can grow and feedback's good, but I had a great conversation with her once, and she was like, people have those conversations with me. And I just say to them, well, that's your opinion. And that really changed my life, because I thought, well, everything is only someone's opinion. And actually, just because you're not doing things the way that they want you to do them doesn't mean you're doing them wrong. And I think that was the best piece of advice she gave me.
That's really true. OKRs, I think, are just awful, and they certainly don't exist in my world. Final question: what drives you every day to get up, to lead, to be growing this company?
Yeah, I know it's cliche, but certainly my family and my children. I have mixed race family. We want a world where they can still live because it's sustainable. And I think if we are not on this journey, and I think marketers have an incredible role to play to influence the outcomes, for me, that's the most important thing. I want to see them represented. I want to see all representation, for all of society in the media and in the marketing. And then I also want that marketing industry to continue to flourish. And it's not going to flourish unless we have a planet for it to flourish in. So we need big change to make that happen.
100% big tick to that. Thank you very much to Hannah Mirza, founder of Responsible Marketing Agency. Thank you.